So most people think you need to spend thousands of dollars or do some large-scale renovation to make your home look amazing, but the reality is you don't. So I'm going to show you 7 ridiculously easy changes that make your space feel like a luxury hotel without spending a fortune or wasting a weekend. And the last one I never see people talking about, but it might be the single fastest way to make your kitchen instantly look high-end without the high-end price tag. So to kick us off here, updating your bedding is one of the fastest low-effort ways to make your home look way better, because it instantly changes the mood of your bedroom without replacing any furniture. So this bed shows how layering a few coordinated pillow shams, a long lumbar pillow, and a textured throw can elevate the look with almost no effort. The warm color palette ties perfectly into the artwork and surrounding decor, and it just goes to show how some small bedding updates like this can make your entire room look so much more finished. Now, this bedroom is kind of similar, but just a little different because they've got a graphic lumbar pillow over a couple solid shams, which adds some style but still keeps the tones soft and neutral. And so again, it's a quick, low-effort change that gives the bedding some depth and personality and makes the room feel curated without a full makeover. And then here, the soft layered bedding in these camel and blush tones just warms up the gray upholstered bed so quickly. And this layering approach is such an easy way to make your bedroom look inviting and put together without a lot of effort. Okay, now the second low effort thing you can do to make your home look better is add a kitchen runner. Because adding a runner in the kitchen is such a simple way to bring color, warmth, and texture to a room that often feels pretty functional. And so it not only softens the look of hard flooring, but it also defines the walkway for a bit more of a polished feel. So this runner here grounds the long galley layout and just complements these beautiful dark floors. And the subtle pattern adds a bit of depth without overwhelming the sleek design of the kitchen. Now here, this more muted runner just ties in perfectly with the natural greenery and the brass fixtures in this kitchen. And then the bolder design of this runner adds some personality to the otherwise pretty neutral cabinets. And it really just creates some visual interest while keeping the kitchen cozy and inviting. Now, of course, because this is going to be in your kitchen, you don't want it to be pure white or a fabric that's going to absorb a lot of stains. So it's better off to go with a more durable material like you see here, because then even if you do spill something on there, it'll be easy to wash off and you won't have to worry about it. But now we need to talk about plants, because a tall indoor plant is one of the easiest ways to make your home look so much better, right? It instantly fills unused corners, it adds some height to the room, and it just softens any room's hard edges with its natural texture. Now here, you can see this tree next to this low bench, which just adds a vibrant pop of green against the otherwise neutral space, right? And you can just imagine how kind of cold and uninviting this space would be without having something there. But once you put the tree in there, it just really makes the space kind of the kind of place you would actually want to spend time. And it's pretty similar in this entryway here as well, right? The tree next to the mirror and the bench just creates this welcoming focal point that feels inviting for anyone who steps into your home. And I think it was also a really great choice to include this rug here at the front door, because not only do you get a little bit more of that earthy, those earthy colors, but you also get to feel that texture underfoot whenever you exit or enter this home. And then again in this dining room, we've got another really skinny tree that just complements the soft natural wood tones and the clean lines of the furniture here. And so it adds a bit of vertical balance and just makes the space feel more complete. Now, if we step back into the kitchen, changing your cabinet hardware is one of the easiest ways to give your kitchen that fresh, updated look without replacing all the expensive cabinetry. Because this kind of simple hardware swap can instantly shift the style of your entire kitchen, which makes it a really easy way to make your home look better without all those messy renovations. So let's look at a few examples here. In this kitchen, the stainless steel pulls work pretty seamlessly with these light oak cabinets and the vertical tile backsplash, which gives this kitchen a real crisp, upscale kind of vibe. And the bonus is that a change like this only requires a screwdriver, so it's super easy, but it makes the space feel cleaner, brighter, and a lot more modern. Now here, these long matte black handles create a real striking contrast against the warm walnut cabinets, which turns this ordinary kitchen into something that feels custom designed. I can't say for sure here, but I'm pretty certain there's a refrigerator behind this door, which just keeps everything consistent, right? Because we're used to pulling a large handle on a refrigerator, and so having a large handle on the door just makes a lot of of sense. And then in this kitchen, the brass handles bring a real warm golden glow to these cabinets, which instantly makes the kitchen look more expensive and a lot more inviting. But now that we've spent some time in the kitchen, let's move back into the living room and talk about coffee tables. Because a coffee table can make or break an entire living room's look, but it doesn't take much to make it a design highlight. Just simple, thoughtful styling can turn a coffee table from a blank surface into a focal point that instantly makes your home look more put together. So this light wood coffee table feels really well styled with this brass figurine, the textured vase with some seasonal branches, and a few carefully chosen accents. And this mix of height, texture, and color just creates this really unique visual interest without overcrowding the surface. And here in the close-up, you can see how each object earns its position, right? The gold finish, the ceramic detail, and the fresh greenery all make the arrangement feel intentional and refined. It's also worth pointing out some of the matching colors we've got here, because with this kind of soft green book that we've got on the table, with the rug underneath, and the deeper green in the art piece on the wall, and with a little bit of green in the, the branches sitting in this vase, there is a cohesive color palette here, which just makes the space feel even better. But this room here takes a bit of a different approach, because you can see that it's actually the ottoman that's doubling as a coffee table, thanks to this wooden tray, which is holding the plant and a small ceramic bowl. But there's a couple of reasons why this works so well, right? First, all the colors in this room just really work together. We've got a lot of earthy kind of tones, and even the darker ones, which are, some blues and greens, are still leaning more toward the earthy palette, which makes them really digestible and easy to look at for a long period of time. And second, nothing feels overly styled here, right? It's almost like you just happen to place the tray down and put the plant and the bowl next to it. It doesn't look like, this is not coming out of a gallery or, a magazine or something. And I think that's something that's so great when you use something like an ottoman as a coffee table, because it shows, number one, you can use the pieces of furniture in your home in different ways. But number two, that there are no rules to follow here. You can basically just do whatever you want because it's your space. But now let's scoot out of the living room and head straight to the front door, because your entryway instantly sets the tone for the rest of your home. And with just a few thoughtful changes, you can turn your entryway into an area that's both functional and stylish. So here, using this black console with the stone lamp and the vase of flowers just offers a timeless look that elevates the entryway without requiring a full redesign. And when it's paired with the art on the wall behind and these neatly stacked books, it just shows how just a few cohesive accessories can make such a big visual impact. Now, I'm going back to trees for this one because having this tree next to the doorway just breathes so much life into this entry area. And then having the console table and the round mirror add a little bit more structure. And having this big, beautiful mirror next to it just brings so much more light into the space and makes it that much more visually interesting. And if you need a little more storage at your front door, then you might want to go with something more like this room. The woven baskets, all these soft pillows, and the other small decorative touches just make this space feel pretty inviting while still keeping your clutter hidden away. Now here's something pretty cool you might not have seen before, which is a peel and stick backsplash. It's quick to install, easy to remove, and it can completely transform the mood of your kitchen without all the mess or the cost of traditional tiling. So here in this kitchen, you can see that these soft beige and taupe tones add plenty of warmth while still keeping the look timeless. And I do want to point out that you still get that same kind of sheen or glow that you get from traditional backsplash tiles with these peel and stick backsplashes, because they still have some texture to them, and so they reflect and bounce the light in interesting ways. And you can actually see that even better in this image here, right? The vertical layout draws the eye upward and makes the kitchen feel taller, and this glossy finish reflects the light all across the room and brightens the entire space. But if you wanted to replace these with something with a bit more color or maybe a bolder pattern, you can peel them off and put new ones on in just a couple of minutes, which gives you the opportunity to change the look of your entire kitchen at will. So if you got anything out of this video, I've linked to a few other videos in the description below that dive even deeper into the kinds of details that make your home look so much better. But here's the thing. Once you start noticing these small upgrades, you're going to realize that there's a whole next level to this. And it's that level of attention to detail that leaves a lasting impression on everyone who steps into your home. So if you want to make your home truly memorable without spending a lot of money, you need to watch this video next. I'll see you there.